Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another YouTube Sunday market breakdown. I heard you guys had an awesome weekend and I heard you had a wonderful trading week. So guys, we're going to continue where we left off. If you remember from last week's sessions or from last week's breakdown, everything is still going as predicted. So here we still have the DXY as we had predicted. So this is the DXY on the weekly, so we can see we're coming from this strong impulse. Then now we have this 1, 2, 3 formation that has been formed, and then we have an area of interest right here, and then we have another area of interest there at the top. So what we'll be looking at now is how do we react at this area of interest, right? So we have this 1, 2, 3. So now we want to understand what's happening inside this 1, 2, 3 here. So if I just quickly go to the daily, as we can see the way we are approaching the top of the structure there, which will be our third touch. Here we have the 1, 2, 3 inside. We have the 1, 2 also. So we are expecting it to complete this bigger outside channel with a 1, 2, 3. Inside we have a 1, 2, 3. And then within this inside also we have a 1, 2, 3. So if I quickly go to the 1 hour, what we'll be waiting for here in the 1 hour, I'll be waiting to take a risk entry depending on what market gives us, right? So you have to be patient, wait for that first push, right? So from what I'm seeing, we might get some sort of a head and shoulder formation before this move, a move like this, right? So you just have to wait for the market to come to you, wait for that 1 hour retracement there, and then we'll be willing to take this move to the downside like this, okay? So if this move breaks out of here, that is then now that we can say that we'll be willing to take it all the way to the downside. We'll be willing to take it all the way to the downside if it breaks out, right? But then all in all, if not, we'll just be willing to take it to the 90 of this, which is here. And then obviously if it breaks, we'll look at it here, and then we'll see if it goes all the way to the downside. So all in all, our bias is to the downside, okay? So if I quickly go to the next pair, which is USDJPY, guys, we almost have the same structure. So this is what I have on USDJPY weekly. This is our previous tops, and then we have an ascending channel here. And then what we can see here is that we can have either an override here on this double top, because we can see what is happening. We have this nice scooping formation right there. We have this nice scooping formation right here. So this could be that double top formation to go to the downside, all right? So what we'll be waiting for is that will this price push to this double top, break, it will be even nice if it pushes and break to this, give us this third touch. This will be even nicer to go to the downside, right? But then all in all now, if we quickly go to the smaller time frame, we can see we have this 1, 2, 3 structure. But then we want to see what will happen here inside this 1, 2, 3 structure. We also have a first impulse, and then we have a correction here. So what we would like to see happen is for this move to come here, and then from here, if it breaks, that is then now we can see this move going to the downside. If it doesn't do that, then now it can come here, and then let me just quickly zoom out. It can then go here, of which from here, then that is where then now we'll be willing to take our trade, okay? We'll be willing to take our trades like that. So now we'll just be waiting for it to play out. So as just like DXY is, we're also looking for a play, short play to the downside here. So let me quickly go to EURUSD. EURUSD is very interesting. What we can see on EURUSD is that here we just broke the lows. We just broke the lows, and then the way that we broke, we can see we are very corrective here, 1, 2, and then I was anticipating this move to the downside to give me that third touch since last week. If you remember, guys, I don't know if I shared this on YouTube, but then yes, I was expecting this move to go to the downside. As it is still drawn there, I was expecting it to go to the downside to come and give me this third touch right here to complete this move and then push to the upside. So this is what I'll be waiting for next week. This move to complete here, give me the third touch, and then push to the upside. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame now, I want to see how will this be approaching my area, right? I want to see how will this be approaching my double bottom area. So I'll be waiting for this price to come to my third touch, and then from there, that is where then now I'll see if I can be able to catch this trade, okay? So quickly moving right along, let's go to GBPUSD. GBPUSD, we almost have the same thing here on GBPUSD. So what I was looking at here on the GBPUSD, let me quickly remove everything. Let me just do it with you guys. Okay, so this is what I have on GBPUSD. This is the monthly of the GBP USD, and then what we can see here is that these are the previous lows, right? These are the previous lows, and then these were the previous highs, okay? So now what we want to understand now, we can see we have this impulse correction, that's how the move has been going, and then the move just broke these lows right here. So I'll quickly go to the weekly. So what we can see and what we can understand is that this move broke here impulsively. So that is where then now we want to understand how is this move approaching these lows of ours, right? So if I go to the daily now, you can see we are still very much impulsive. We're still very much impulsive. Let me go to the 4-hour. Just to see if we cannot find a structure right there on the 4-hour. So what we can see, okay, we have this impulse correction, impulse going down. So let's see if we do not have a nice structure right there. So this was broken previously. So what we'll be looking for, if I just go to the weekly, we might find a structure on the bigger time frame. Let me just do this, zoom out, there we go. Okay. So what I can see here is that I have this formation right here, we have this impulse, and then now what we can see is that this move is just going down correctively like that. Okay, we have this impulse and then we have a move going down correctively like that. So from what I can see here now, what we can see here is that this move, what we want to see from this move is this move coming down here correctively. Okay, this move coming down here correctively and then giving us, we don't know what will happen here. So either here we can get that push back to the downside to get this down bottom and the push to the upside, or we can break back in and get a nice continuation to the upside, right? So that's what we'll be waiting for on GBP USD. So just wait for this move to complete, a small correction here, and then a push to the downside, and then we'll wait for it to see what is going to happen, okay? So which one is this one? USD CAD. USD CAD. Let's quickly go to USD CAD. Let me just do it again. Alright guys, so this is USD CAD, then this is what I'm looking at on USD CAD. This is what we have, right? We have the tops, we have the lows, right? And then obviously we have this area of significance right here. That's the area that we can see. There's an area of significance. So we want to understand how price is getting there. So what we can see here now, we're just going to take the lows to the lows, highs to the highs, okay? Simple. Lows to the lows, highs to the highs. So this price broke out of our highs. So let me just go to the daily. It broke out of our structure, as we can see, because we're expecting that this price will come and give us that 1, 2, 3. It will come and give us that 1, 2, 3 touch right here, right? But then we did not execute it because it did not play out as we anticipated. We anticipated it to give us a play like this to go to the downside, but instead it impulsed out. So now what we want to understand is that now since price has impulsed out and we have an area of interest there, how will this price get there, right? So I could just extend this here to understand what type of structure is it, because it seems like the structure has extended itself. So even I myself, if I could just quickly, if I clone this, I could extend this, okay? So now what we can see is that we have this 1, 2, and then this was our third touch here. But then now, this is our third touch here on the outside, it failed, and then also on the inside, it failed. But then now, we also have to understand that because price has done so, it does not mean that price will continue going up, right? So what we understand is that how will price get to this area of interest? Okay, so we want to see price slowing down here and then pushing back down and then going to the downside, okay? So when we go to the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is that, okay, price has pushed out, but then now how has it pushed out? That is the most important thing that we want to understand. How has it went out? So what we can see here is that we have this squeeze right there. We have price squeezing. Let me just draw this in. We have price squeezing in right there, right? Price is squeezing. We have 1, 2. So now we're still anticipating a third touch right there. So I can put this as my 90 here. So I'll be expecting that, okay, if price comes to give me the third touch, then I can get a sweet move here, at least, okay? And then if it does break to go to the downside, then it is
then that will take it all the way to the downside. But then as of now, or as of next week, we'll be looking to take this move just slightly around here. So we'll wait on the smaller time frames, and then we'll use our strategies to enter these nice and sweet positions. So let's wrap it up. Let's go. We got German 30. So German 30, guys, it's almost the same as other indices. So what we have here on German 30 is that we have this impulse, correction, impulse, and then impulse, right? So now from those impulse, how did we get here? These were my lows. And then now I want to understand how did we get to the lows. So what I can see here getting into the lows, we have this 1, 2, and they still need at least one more touch. And then when we're here at the bottom, we have 1, 2, expanding channel, right? So that is why now I'll be expecting that this price, if this price then pushes up and come back here, give me this inverse head and shoulder, I'll be willing to take it all the way to the upside. So obviously we'll check it out on the lower time frames, and then together with our members we'll be taking this move to the upside. So guys, it's gonna be sweet, it's gonna be nice. So also US 100, which is Nasdaq. So with Nasdaq here, I have mixed emotions. So what is happening here is that, okay, I have this kind of a top structure here, but then here at the bottom I just highlighted the lows. So now, if this price now, I don't want to see this price really getting back to these lows or breaking these lows. I want to see this price reversing from here. So now what I can see is that price has already given me that small impulse. So what I'll be waiting for is for this correction and then take it to the upside, right? To complete this bigger structure. But then we know where price is going to go at the end. So this is just a retracement in this zone, okay? So the same thing also applies for US 30. We have almost the same thing. We just broke the lows here, and then here on US 30 we just broke these lows, and then here when you look below here we have this area here which can be a third touch. So if it does not reverse from here or retrace from here to give this small retracement, right? If we don't get this small retracement from here, then obviously this price will push from here, and then we'll get it from here, okay? Then we'll get it from here, and then we'll be willing to take our positions like that. So if I can just go to the weekly and show you the bigger pattern that I'm looking at. So what you guys can see, this is the bigger pattern that I'm looking at. This 1, 2, and then this third touch here, and then I'm looking for this price to come to give me this third touch. If it does come to give me this third touch, you can get to break these tops, okay? Because after all, like I said, I am still looking at that this could be a possibility that this could be just something like this, right? So now we'll just wait to see how price plays out and how price reacts, okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful trading session this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fix setups that were sent as we all chowed. So guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Telegram, DM us, you know where to find us and you know how we operate. Otherwise, guys, cheers, have a nice and good week.